Hi, this is Brett Trefethen, and this is assignment 4. We're supposed to evaluate a website here, and I chose, as you can see, I chose the website Britain for Americans. I think I chose this site because I'm a foreign language teacher, and I wanted to find something that related to culture and what I do with my students, as I oftentimes have them go to different websites for German-speaking countries and see what they can find for information. This is a good example of a website that some of my students would go to, and if they were to take information off of it, I would be concerned because this is not a valid site. It's a site that is put out by someone, anyone, but not by an organization, a accredited organization, or an you know, just it's not valid. It's not an edu. It's not a .org. You look up at the URL here, you see that the website name is brookview.karoo.net. So it's definitely not put out by someone who is doing this for educational purposes. It's a pretty straightforward website. It has an introduction page, a language page, geography, talks about transportation, music, and food and drink. It makes some gross generalizations. In fact, it even makes stereotypes. So it could be a good example of a website to have a conversation with students about stereotypes and biases and where they come from. And it gives some examples. I'll go to another page here and show you the geography page of the website, how the language of the website really is not something that you would want to have students go. In fact, there's an error right here in the website. There's the same paragraph, as I'll see if I can highlight. The same paragraph is listed twice, which also shows that if this was proved by someone, that you wouldn't see an error like that. So here's an example in the language of the website that's very stereotypical. They talk about Scotland. They're talking about Scotland, and they say, for example, they eat haggis for breakfast and play the bagpipes. That's an example of where they're just making a stereotypical view of people. They may be trying to be funny, humorous, but students, especially middle-aged students, wouldn't see, or they wouldn't get that humor. So it really is not a good site for that purpose. I could see it being a good example of a site to teach students about uh, inaccurate sites that are out there. I'm going to copy and paste the URL into the Internet Archive on the Wayback Machine and see what turns up. Let's find out how old the site is and see if people have checked into the validity of it. I'm going to copy and paste the URL and see what we can learn from this site. Looks like that particular page on that website has been crawled 136 times. It looks as if the website has been around since 2001, and you can see that let's just click on one of the links here, one snapshot, and see if there was any changes in the website over 10 years ago, which it doesn't look like. It looks like the site has been the same since 2001. At least this page, you can go back, see the language page, which I already looked at earlier, and it looks to be the same information, same amount. So it really hasn't changed since it was first published to the web in 2001. You can see on the archive, on the Wayback Machine, where it has had its most site activity was in, looks like, the year 2008. It has highest activity here. Like I mentioned before, I don't think this is a good site for students. It's not valid. It talks about, it actually makes stereotypical comments about people, and it's not based on fact. It's based on opinion. So it's a good example, I think, of a site that students could learn from, and not to take information from, but to follow up and take a look at, well, they say this here. What about if I were to do an independent research of my own and see if I can find other valid websites that support that opinion?